RPG underneath a 6-year-old's twin-size pink bed in the first or second house we went into. 100% was the most sad thing I saw.
What is the feeling being in the vehicle, crossing that border and entering Gaza? What's going on in your mind?
Every combat soldier listening to this can relate. The amount of times you've played it out in your head, the amount of times you've been trained for it, the amount of times anything, like we are literally special forces combat soldiers. We have gone through so much training for war. Nothing compares to actually being in there. No Call of Duty, anything. Like, it is a full-on war zone. You get in there, for other missions that we've done in the past, you check our equipment. We had checked our equipment for stuff that we did in the north, stuff we did in Judea and Samaria. We were ready to go. We felt confident with our equipment. Mm-hmm. I must have checked it like 3, 4, 5 times that morning before we go in. You look at your friends and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to come back with this person. Mm-hmm. Like, you literally looking with your friends, like, I don't know if I'm going to walk in with this person again. And I wrote on the bus over to the border, mm-hmm. I literally wrote like my own letter to family and friends as if I died of all these different things. And I deleted it afterwards because I thought it was bad luck. Mm-hmm. Like when I got out and the war was over, or our part was over, but going in physically, getting on I remember we were also huddled outside, first doing like a big chant and a rally, but also just this moment of looking in each other's eyes. Like, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm ready to go. Like, let's fucking do this. Like, mm-hmm. We're ready. We're scared. We're hyped. We're nervous. We're very stable and confident. It's all these different emotions happening at 100 out of 10 level at the same time. And it's really hard to explain. And it's, really micro level. It's kind of like before you go and you take an exam, like your big final, and you've prepared and all this mm-hmm. kind of stuff, and you feel ready, but you also have no idea what's going to come and hit you. But then the second the exam starts, you're like, boom, and you start working. Or you have a big race, and the second the gun goes off for the race, you locked in and you act, and the training kicks in. It's the same thing. The second we were in the car, in the armored vehicle, we're going in, still, there's nothing you can really do. Second, boots were on the ground, and we were in line, like Shtei Turim. Your head's on a swivel, the training kicks in, you know who's behind you, you know who's in front of you, you know everything. Yeah. You're ready to go. And you're just locked and loaded. And I remember head's on a swivel. Is there a tunnel here? Is there a tunnel there? What's in that window? Why is that drape moving? Your anxiety and paranoia is 1,000 out of 10. Yeah. You're hearing explosions left and right. You're hearing bullets left and right. You don't know whose it is. And you're just going, marching forward. Once you had boots on the ground, you're already inside a war zone. Yeah, you're marching forward because you have no other option. You're marching forward. Yeah. Because that's what you got to do. Mm-hmm. And eventually you get used to it. Like, it got to a point that you're still on a swivel and you're still...
Were you in a closed vehicle? Like a Hummer?
When we got there the first time, we were in a Hummer.
So like you see everything.
It wasn't an MAF. Yeah.
So you see the moment you cross the border.
You see the moment you cross the border.
There's a point of like no return. That's it. We're in.
Yeah, but even there, it's like you can't really react much because there's a whole tsevet like of the armored vehicle that's specifically trained to respond if we do get attacked, and like the people mm-hmm. inside aren't
for an ambush on the vehicle.
Yeah, on the vehicle. Yeah, they're the ones that attacked. Yeah, that like respond. So we weren't even technically ready to go there. The second we had boots on the ground, not wheels on the ground, but boots on the ground, mm-hmm. that's when it was time to go. Yeah. And
where were you stationed in the beginning in Gaza?
We were just outside Gaza City. So we started
like center of Gaza.
Like Zaytun. Yeah.
How I'm dying to know. There's this image that we all had of Gaza before October 7th. Yeah. And then you enter Gaza. It's already a war zone. It's already partially bombarded. But then you actually see Gaza. I'm guessing you see a war zone, but you can also imagine Gaza before it was bombarded. Was that what you expecting?
No, it was way more built up than I expected. Like, mm-hmm. I went in thinking it was going to be...
concentration camp.
Literally concentration camp. Indian, like a Brazilian favela or an Indian shanty, shacks all over. That's mm-hmm. what I thought it was. Or just like barren cement buildings that have nothing and are just like rats crawling all over.
The densest place in the world with nothing.
Anything, complete poverty. That's the way they described it. Yeah. That's the way like we all thought of it as. That's the way the world thought of it as. So that's what we expected. Like if we had a building, like a concrete cement building, that would have been good. And it was fully built up, fully everything. Some of the homes we went into were very luxurious, like Art 7.
How luxurious?
What?
How luxurious?
I mean, we saw plasma TVs on the roof. Not on the roof, sorry, on the ceiling. Like you're lying down on a bed and you're looking up. If instead of
like Dubai style rich,
ridiculously rich, and we were in shock. Like there was a house we went into that. I mean, the whole longer story is like we had to go in and there's a whole. We call it Chanukah Sameach because it was on the 7th day of Chanukah.
Okay.
Not 7th. Sorry, it was the 2nd or 3rd day of Chanukah. But we went in and we were supposed to try to get to this building. The whole day was a huge balagan, long story. Worst day of all of our lives because it was, Chanukah Sameach is a very ironic word for it because it couldn't have been more
Army
opposite.
dog humor.
Yeah, couldn't have been more opposite. But in the end, like we're about to be in this villa. Like we were just coming from a disgusting house that we had been in for a few days. And then we go into, our eyes just opened like, oh my God, we can live here for the next 3, 4, 5 days. Like there was a tunnel on the bottom. So it was Hamas that we had searched the building and searched the house and searched everything. There were tons of Hamas, like uniforms, weapons, all that kind of stuff. So we're like, hell, this is Hamas for sure. And we're going to live here because there's no more Hamas. We've cleared everything.
Despite the Hamas thing, this is nice enough.
This is nice enough. This is Upper East Side Manhattan. This is gorgeous. This is beautiful tile on the floors, china cabinets, plasma TVs, Chanel bags in the closet, like all sorts of things. We are like, this is incredible. And then we had to leave. Long story.
For the people who don't understand, why would an IDF soldier have to be stationed inside somebody else's house in Gaza?
Because there were no, I mean, IDF doesn't have bases there yet. It's very dangerous to just be out in the open, sleeping in a tent, for example, because if Hamas shoots a bullet at a tent or at anything like that, you're dead. But if you're inside of a home that now you've cleared and you've checked and you've made sure that there's no mines, you've made sure Hamas isn't there, you've made sure the house is clean and clear, then you have a roof over your head for, it was in the middle of the winter, so for, natural elements. You have concrete walls around you, so if they shoot an RPG, you're protected. If they shoot bullets, you're protected. It really has to go through a window. So there's a lot more protection.
Yeah, what's astonishing to me from what you're saying is that there's a lot of people saying that, of course, people will join Hamas because they don't have another choice, because when you don't have something to eat and you're desperate, then they give you... I mean, that is partially true.
It's 100% true.
But then you're telling me that you went into this amazing house with plasmas on the ceiling and marble floors. So why would somebody
there
like
was a direct
this?
correlation between that I saw and my team saw. The nicer the home, the nicer the anything. Like there were some beautiful homes with vineyards in front, and there was a tunnel in the vineyard. There was like an entrance to a tunnel in the vineyard, and that's where a Hamas terrorist came at us with jeans and a Adidas hoodie, but having an RPG strapped to him, a grenade in his pocket, in his hand at the time, and a gun. Like clearly Hamas came from that house. So like there's a direct correlation between the nicer the home, the more connection we found to Hamas, the more whether it's a tunnel or whatever it is. So if you want to be rich in New York City, be in finance. If you want to be rich in San Francisco, start a tech company or go work for a tech company. If you want to be rich in Gaza, join Hamas. So they're rewarding people who are part of it. Were there homes that were like less
That makes
nice?
sense. But if you're saying they're also weapon... I mean, I can understand finding propaganda, flags, tunnels. Okay, but you're also describing you're finding weapon caches in these houses. And I'm saying maybe a commander, an officer, wouldn't have weapon caches. I mean, that would be in the fighters' places.
They would... Totally, but they would also have it. Or you're rewarding people to hope. I mean, a commander is going to have a tunnel near him because if he needs to escape,
exactly,
he wants to get there quickly.
Yeah, but this guy is probably also a fighter, or he's doing more dirty work despite him being rich. If he has weapon caches as well,
it's true. And you don't know. All we saw is the more connection there was to Hamas, the nicer
the nicer the house.
The nicer the house. Always.
Yeah.
If it was a full weapon cache, like you're saying, it probably wasn't an officer. It was someone else. Maybe it was, your average person that now is getting paid to hold all this stuff, and they're giving him a really nice house.
What's the most disturbing thing you found on any? I mean, because we're talking here about disturbing thing. Because we're talking here civilian houses.
RPG underneath a 6-year-old's twin size pink bed in the first or second house we went into. 100% was the most sad thing I saw, because you hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
That was one.
What goes through your head when you see that?
I mean, all your training is like, you go in, and it was literally, I remember it was the first like room that I opened and cleared myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going in and you're trained, and I thought it was like concrete buildings and this and that. And you see it's like a proper house. It's no longer a drill, concrete, empty house. But you're going in, and I turn the corner, and I'm like, it's a pink twin-size bed. Looked like my little sister's room 20 years ago. So you just feel this like human element of like, oh my God, these are real people. This is real this is real that. You're not
what am I doing
anything.
here?
Yeah. And then you go and you search, because it's part of your training, and you lift the bed, and you're like, holy shit, there's a freaking RPG in here.